Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the third week of the September month. Session will be quite interesting and important, so stay tuned with us till the end. Let's start. The first question is, in October, India and which country commenced the 5th edition of the bilateral naval exercise, that is Samudra Shakti. So Samudra Shakti is the name of the exercise that is held between India and which country? It is Indonesia, right? And this is the 5th edition of this exercise. What is the location? Where was this held? It was held in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Take a note of this. So right option is option 1. Next, in October, the DRDO, they have signed an MOU with which organization under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy to establish a 300 megawatt renewable energy project across India. So, which is that organization? That is Solar Energy Corporation of India, and the target is to become net zero carbon emitter by 2070. This is the target of India, right? And this will be developing a 300 megawatt of capacity of solar based renewable energy project, and it will be by DRDO. Next, identify the universities that has signed an MOU with Dr. Ambedkar Foundation in October to establish Dr. Ambedkar chairs. So, which is identify that universities? It is Mumbai University, Jaipur National University, as well as GB Pant University of Technological and Agriculture. So, right option is option 5 here. Right, with this new, these 3 Dr. Ambedkar chairs have been added. Total number of operational chairs now stands at 28. Next, mark the correct statement regarding Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Andhra Pradesh in October in 2025. If we look at the options here, all these 3 options, they are rightly mentioned. Next, which of the following sectors did not feature in the MOU signed during the Mongolian president's visit to India in October? Among the following, it is defense procurement, right? That did not feature. So on what we talked about digital solutions, we talked about geology and mineral resources, we talked about humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, as well as cooperation in the energy sector. We talked about digital solutions, science and education, culture and exchange, trade and economic development. All these things were talked about, but not defense procurement. Next, name the assault rifle for which the Ministry of Defence has signed a 659.47 crore contract in October with a consortium of MKU Limited and Medbit Technologies Private Limited to procure advanced night sight, that is image intensifier systems. It is SIG 716 assault rifle, right? This is designed for a service life of almost 10,000 operational hours or 10 years, whichever is earlier. Next, mention the world's first tri-service all-women circumnavigation sailing expedition flagged off by Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in December. So, what is the name of this? It is Samudra Pradakshina. Important students. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the State Mining Readiness Index 25 unveiled by the Ministry of Mines. So, what is the name here? Right, or which is the correct statement here? Right option is all 3 of them. Moving on, in October, UIDAI under MEITY launched SITA. SITA is your Scheme for Innovation and Technology Association with Aadhaar. Now, question asked here is, which organization has signed this MOU with MEITY Startup Sub and UIDAI to advance the objectives of SITA scheme? It is NASSCOM. Correct, it is NASSCOM. Now, under this MOU, MSH, right, here they will basically provide technical mentoring, incubation and accelerator support to the startups and innovators here, right? And here what will be NASSCOM doing? NASSCOM will be providing the connection, industry connection, entrepreneurial support if any required. Then next is which Indian company has signed a strategic cooperation agreement with Embraer Defense and Security of Brazil during the Vice President of Brazil Geraldo Alckmin's visit to India in October. If we look at the option here, so which is the Indian company that signed this strategic cooperation agreement? It is Mahindra Group, right? Take a note of this. And this agreement is basically to provide C-390 Millennium aircraft for the medium transport, that is a medium transport for, or basically this aircraft will be provided for this medium transport aircraft program of the Indian Air Force. Correct. So this is the aircraft that you need to remember, C-390 Millennium aircraft. Next, how much funding has the government of India allocated for the Kapas Kranti mission launched in October to promote high yield cotton cultivation? So what is the amount allocated here? 600 crore rupees has been allocated here. And question can be asked that this Kapas Kranti is related to which crop? It is for cotton. Then an application was also launched, and even this application was launched in Hindi also. Next, in October, the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare revised the guidelines for per drop more crop scheme. Under the old guidelines of PDMC scheme, what was the maximum funding cap for states and union territories to undertake micro level water storage and conservation projects? So under the old guidelines, what was the limit? It is 20%, right? And now it has been increased to what? This is your 40%. Right, with this, what is it? It will be promoting this per drop more crop, means with efficient usage of water we can grow more crops, right? Quantity of the crops can increase if we are sustainably and managing the water resources properly, and we are in agriculture we are providing the right amount of water when required. Next, in October, the 8th session of the Codex Committee on Species and Culinary Herbs was held where? It was held in Guwahati, Assam, where Codex stands for vanilla, coriander, dried seeds and large cardamom were finalized, right? And the total number of global spices standards developed by CCSCH is 219 now. Next, name the entity under Ministry of Electronics and Information and Technology that collaborated with the government of Uttarakhand to organize the Uttarakhand AI Impact Summit in October. So, name that entity. Which entity we are talking about? We are talking about India AI Mission, right? It was organized by the Department of Information Technology along with the government of Uttarakhand in collaboration with India AI Mission, and if the ministry is asked, that is MEITY. Next, identify the type of drug discovered indigenously in India to combat drug-resistant respiratory infections named nephromycin, announced by Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh in October. So, what type of drug is this nephromycin? That is in-house developed by India, that is indigenously developed by India. So, this is a kind of an antibiotic. Important, take a note of it, right? And this has been developed in collaboration with Wockhardt, that is a global pharmaceutical company in collaboration with the Department of Biotechnology. Next, identify the indigenous firearm produced by the Indian Army under 2700 crore rupees contract for 4.25 lakh units in October. So it is close quarter battle carbine. This is a kind of an assault rifle, right? And Indian Army has produced this firearm for 2700 crore rupees, and it is how many units? 4.25 lakh units will be procured, and it has also been developed in two segments where you will be seeing 2.5 lakh units will be supplied by Bharat Forge, right, and rest 1.75 lakh units will be developed by and supplied by Adani PLR Systems. Next, mention the institute that signed an MOU with Coal India Limited to establish the Center for Sustainable Energy in October. It is what? It is IIT Madras. Take a note of this, students. Next is, as per the Henley Passport Index released by Henley and Partners in October, India's passport slipped to which position, offering a visa-free or visa on arrival access to 57 countries, while Singapore has topped the list. So India stands at 85th position. So Singapore is having access to 193 countries, that is visa-free, and they are on the first position. Whereas India, we stands at 85th position and we have access to visa-free countries. How many visa-free countries? That is 57 visa-free countries. Next is, mark the correct statement regarding International Union for the Conservation of Nature World Conservation Congress held in Abu Dhabi, UAE. That was held from 9 to 15th of October. If we look at the options here, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, identify the incorrect statement regarding the 78th session of the World Health Organization Regional Committee for Southeast Asia that was held in Colombo, Sri Lanka. If we look at the options here, we have to find the incorrect statement. So option B is right, C is right, A is wrong, which is our answer. A is saying that the session was chaired by Dr. Tedros. Next is identify the incorrect statement regarding the 78th session of the World Health Organization Regional Committee for Southeast Asia that was held in Colombo, Sri Lanka. If we look at the option B is right, C is right, A is wrong. A is saying that the session was chaired by Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, the Director General of WHO. Is it so? No. This session was chaired by whom? This is the question that I want you to remember. This was held, or this session was chaired under the chairmanship of Nalinda Jaya Tissa, right? And this is the Sri Lanka's health minister. Right? So Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus he was not the chair of this session. Now option A is right. Next is name the country that along with India established a 20-member inter-parliamentary friendship group in October to enhance parliamentary cooperation and bilateral relations. So which is it? It is Panama. Take a note of it. Next, identify the UN organization that released a report that is high risk forest, high value returns, a co-benefit assessment for the decision makers in October that highlights 391 million hectares of tropical forest are at a high risk of deforestation. So identify that UN organization that has released this report. It is UNEP, that is United Nations Environment Program. Next, how long will India's Hitesh Kumar S. Makwana elected to serve as the co-chair of the United Nations Global Geospatial Information Management for Asia and the Pacific along with Woo Suk Chu from Republic of Korea in October? So how long will India's Hitesh Kumar elected to serve the co-chair here? So it is for the term 2025 to 2028. Next, according to the Mercer Charter Financial Analysts Institute Global Pension Index, mention the country which is not among the top 5 in the pension index. It is Philippines. Right? It is not among the top 5. Netherlands first, then Iceland second, then Denmark it is third, Singapore it is fourth, Israel is fifth. Next, according to the World Directory of Modern Military Aircraft rankings, which of the following is not among the world's top 5 most powerful forces? It is China's People's Liberation Army Force. Right? Take a note of this. Who is on the top? United States Air Force, then United States Navy, then Russian Air Force, then United States Army, then United States Marine Corps, and on 6th position is Indian Air Force. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the key findings of the Global Forest Resource Assessment 25 released by Food and Agriculture Organization in October month. Which of the following is the correct statement it is asked? So A is right, B is right, C is wrong. C is saying that in terms of the global forest gain, Russia ranks first followed by India and China. Is it so? So first remember Russian Federation is on top, then Brazil is on second, then Canada on third, then USA fourth, then it is fifth China, and on 6th position is our India. Next, choose the financial center that is not among the top 5 in the 38th Global Financial Center Index released in October by China Development Institute and ZN Partners. So choose the financial center, right, that is not among the top 5. So Mumbai, India is not among the top 5 here. New York, USA on top, then London on second, Hong Kong on third, Singapore on fourth, then San Francisco on 5th, and GIFT City, right, of India is on 6th position. Take a note of this, students. And then it is Mumbai, and then it is New Delhi. Next is what is the total value of the Sovereign Exposure Exchange Agreement signed between the Asian Development Bank and World Bank in October to boost the lending for the developing nations. So it is $3 billion. Total value of the Sovereign Exposure Exchange Agreement is $3 billion. This EEA, that is Exposure Exchange Agreement, right, it is acts as a risk management tool and it enables the multilateral development banks to lower the portfolio concentration by risk by swapping exposure from countries with large sovereign loans. And this is Asian Development Bank's first EEA with World Bank and sixth EEA with other multilateral development banks. Next is who headed the SEBI constituted working group that proposed increasing transaction fees for clearing corporations such as NSE Clearing Limited in October 2025. So who headed this SEBI constituted working group? It was headed by R.S. Gandhi. It was headed by whom? It was headed by R.S. Gandhi. This move, it will bolster the financial independence of these corporations and strengthen the balance sheet. Here the fee structure, if we see currently NSE, they are receiving nearly 5 to 6% of the fees that NSE collects from the members. A revision of the charge for the clearing corporation is expected to increase the share to 25% or even a little higher. Next is who was honored with the BRICS International Award 2025 for the contribution to spiritual education, cultural development and maritime innovation at an event hosted by State Duma of Russian Federation in Moscow in October 2025. So who was honored here with BRICS International Award? This is the direct question that can be asked and this is an important question. So Abusyopan Kharkarov was honored here. He is the former Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Dagestan who was honored with the BRICS International Award. This is for his contribution to spiritual education, cultural development and maritime innovation. Next, who won the 2025 British Academy Book Prize in October for his book titled The Burning Earth and Environmental History of the Last 500 Years. So who won the 2025 British Academy Book Prize? It was won by Sunil Amrit. Right, Indian origin historian Sumrit Amrit has won the 2025 British Academy Book Prize for the book that is The Burning Earth and Environmental History of the Last 500 Years. Next is in October, Union Minister Rajnath Singh was conferred with the honorary rank of Lieutenant Colonel upon Neeraj Chopra in Voluntary Military Force of India. In which Voluntary Military Force of India? So, tell me. Union Minister Rajnath Singh conferred the honorary rank of Lieutenant Colonel to Neeraj Chopra for which voluntary force of India? It is Territorial Army. Next, who was sworn in as the transitional president of Madagascar in October after a military coup confirmed by the High Constitutional Court of Madagascar? Name that individual. Right option is Michael Randrian. Right, Colonel Randrian Rina. Right, Michael Randrian Rina. Right, was appointed here. Take a note of this. Next is in October, Gujarat state government under the Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel expanded their cabinet, including 19 new ministers and retaining the 6, bringing the total strength to 26. So 19 are new here and 6 are retained. So the total strength become 26. Who was elevated here as the Deputy Chief Minister, becoming the 5th Deputy Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat? So right option is Harsh Ramesh Kumar Sanghvi has been appointed as the Deputy Chief Minister of Gujarat. Take a note of this, students. Next is who was elected as the President of the Indian Cricket Association in October, becoming the first woman to lead the organization. So Shantha Rangaswamy was elected as the President of Indian Cricket Association. Take a note of this. Next is mention the tenure of Justice Pratibha M. Singh of Delhi High Court as the chair of the World Intellectual Property Organization Advisory Board as announced in October. If we look at the option, right option is for what is the term? It is 2025 to 2027. Right option is this. Next, who was elected as the Japan's first female Prime Minister in October? Right option is Sanai Takaichi. Correct. Take a note of this. Direct question. And she succeeded whom? She succeeded Shigeru Ishiba. Next, in October, Emirates New Development Bank acquired how much % stake in RBL Bank through a preferential issue of shares worth 26,850 crore rupees. It is 60% share here, right? And what is the amount it was acquired for? 26,850 crore rupees. Next, in October, DRDO, they successfully tested the indigenously military craft parachute system with Indian Air Force from an altitude of how much? From an altitude of 32,000 feet. The test was conducted by the test jumpers of the Indian Air Force, right? Take a note of this. Next is in October, Dr. V. Narayanan, the chairman of ISRO, announced that India's maiden human space flight mission, that is Gaganyaan, is scheduled for 2027, while ISRO aims to launch their first crewed moon mission by which year? So ISRO is planning to launch their first crewed moon mission by 2040, and Gaganyaan mission, that is the maiden human space flight mission, is planned by 2027. Next, name the fighter jet that was unveiled by Union Minister for Defence Rajnath Singh on 17th of October at Hindustan Aeronautics Limited facility, that is in Nasik facility. So, which is that fighter jet we are talking about? It is Tejas Mark 1A fighter jet. Next, identify the country that represented by Olympic champion Ariana Titmus, who announced her retirement from competitive swimming. So, name that country, identify that country we are talking about. It is Australia. She is from Australia. Next, in October, Union Minister of Home Affairs, that is Amit Shah, he recently announced that Commonwealth Association has approved India's bid to host the sanitary edition of 2030 Commonwealth Games. In which Indian city will the event will be hosted? That means now India will be hosting the 2030 Commonwealth Games, that will be in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, right? That means the Commonwealth Association, they have approved India's bid that we can now host this event in India, and that too in India, where it will be hosted in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Important students, take a note of this. Next, also we have bid for the 2036 Olympic Games also. Let's see how that plays out. Next, identify the international multi-sport event where Indian Olympic gold medalist Abhinav Bindra was appointed as the torchbearer in October month. So, identify that international multi-sport event. It is Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Next, name the country that secured the first ever FIFA Under-20 World Cup title after defeating Argentina by 2-0 in the final match held in Santiago, Chile. So, name that country that secured the first ever FIFA World Cup title. It is Under-20 FIFA World Cup title. It is Morocco. Next is Tomichi Murayama, right, known for his 1995 World War II apology to the Asian victims who passed away on 17th of October, was the former Prime Minister of which country? Was the former Prime Minister of Japan. Also remember, he served as the Japan's 81st Prime Minister, and it was from 1994 to 1996. Next is Chen Ning Yang, the Chinese American physicist and Nobel laureate who passed away in October, won the 1957 Nobel Prize in Physics for discovering what? So it was for discovering parity violation in weak nuclear interaction. And remember the name, remember the year in which he won the Nobel Prize in Physics and the reason for which he won. Next is Dr. Eknath Vasant Chintis, a pioneering Indian space scientist and key architect of India's early space program, passed away in October, in which year he was honored with the Padma Bhushan Award for his contribution in science and technology. So, Dr. Eknath Vasant Chintis, right, a pioneering Indian space scientist and key architect of India's early space program, passed away in October. In which year he was honored with Padma Bhushan? He was honored with Padma Bhushan in 1985. Right option is option 3. Next is, when is International Snow Leopard Day, also known as the World Snow Leopard Day, observed globally to raise awareness about the conservation of snow leopard, that is Panthera uncia. So it is on 23rd of October. Right, first time observed in 2014. Next, in October, which country gifted Prussian blue capsules to Indonesia to help treat contamination caused by the radioactive isotope cesium-137? So which country gifted the Prussian blue capsules to Indonesia? It was gifted by our country, India, right? And it was a very good gesture. Next is, which fintech company unveiled India's first unified corporate card ecosystem for businesses on October? It is Encash. Correct. Next, NMDC, National Mineral Development Corporation Steel Limited. It became India's first company to receive the BIS certification for hot rolled steel used in the pipeline transportation in October. Question is, in the abbreviation BIS, what does the letter B stands for? It is Bureau. Bureau, BIS, that is your Bureau of Indian Standards, right? So I for India, Indian, and S for standards. correct? And this certification will ensure the NDMC steel's product meet the highest national quality and safety standards. Next is mention the company that introduced India's first fully electric two-seater light sport aircraft for flight training and personal aviation on 16th of October 2025. So it is which company? It is Pulinam Aerospace Technologies, and the first prototype it is expected to be launched in within 12 to 18 months. Next, where did the 11th India International Science Festival held from December 6th to 9th as announced by Union Minister for Earth Science Dr. Jitendra Singh? If we look at the option, it is Punjab University of Chandigarh. Then next is United Nations recognized the Slovenian town of Bled as the best tourism village. What is the official currency used in Slovenia? So here the currency that is used is Euro. Next, the Election Commission of India enabled the C-Vigil mobile application on the Election Commission internet platform in October to report Model Code of Conduct violations. Identify the established year of ECI. Direct question. So ECI was established in 1950. Here you need to remember that ECI has enabled the C-Vigil mobile application on the Election Commission internet, that is ECINET. So this was enabled by whom? Election Commission of India. Next, in October, ISRO they have announced to launch 6.5 ton Bluebird 6 satellite for the advanced communication and scientific research. Who currently serves as the chairman is of ISRO? So who is the chairman? V Narayanan. But you need to remember here that ISRO they have announced the launch of 6.5 ton weight. This is the weight of this satellite, that is Bluebird. Name is Bluebird 6 satellite. Next, India's gold reserves crossed 880 metric tons by September, marking a historic milestone in RBI reserve management strategy. Question is, name the current governor of RBI who oversees this achievement. So who is the governor? Sanjay Malhotra. And the last question for the day is, students, the Bima Sugam platform, dubbed as India's UPI for insurance, are expected to go live by December. That aims to unify the insurance services under a single digital platform. Question is, what does the UPI in full form of UPI? Chalo, right? So what we are focusing on, the Bima Sugam platform, it is basically UPI for insurance. What is the full form of UPI? Unified Payment Interface. So right option is here is unified. U stands for unify, I for interface, P for payment. So UPI. That's all for the day, students. Now let's move to the revision part that will be quite beneficial for you all. Next is, during the celebration of the 100th year of RSS, that is your Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, that is a commemorative postage stamp and a coin was launched. This coin was of 100 rupees, right? And it has an image of Bharat Mata on the Indian currency for the first time that was released, correct? And it was a 100 rupees coin. It was to celebrate the 100th anniversary of RSS, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. And here take a note of this. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the celebration as the chief guest, and the event where this was held, the location of the event is your Dr. Ambedkar International Center, that is in New Delhi. Next is, mark the correct statement regarding the approvals of Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on pulses and rabi crops in September. Here, if we look at the option, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, Airbus along with which company? So Airbus along with Tata Advanced Systems Limited, they have announced the establishment of India's first private sector final assembly line in Vimagal, Karnataka to manufacture the Airbus H-12 helicopter. Apart from this, remember Tata Advanced Systems Limited, they are also setting up a manufacturing fabrication unit plant in Dholera. This is related to semiconductor, and Dholera is located where? It is in Gujarat. Next, My Bharat mobile application launched by Union Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandviya in October has been designed and developed by which organization? So, My Bharat mobile application has been designed and developed by Digital India Corporation, DIC. This newly launched mobile application is a part of My Bharat platform, that is an online youth leadership and social engagement initiative of the Department of Youth Affairs, right? And it has been developed by DIC in collaboration with MEI TY. So if ministry asked, it is MEI TY. Next, mark the correct statement regarding Union Cabinet approval chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If we look at the option A and B are rightly mentioned. C is wrong here. C is saying that the Cabinet has approved a 5% hike in DA for central employees and dearness relief for the pensioners. So this is not a 5% hike, students. It is a 3% hike that we have seen recently. Next, Maharashtra's Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has announced that Navi Mumbai International Airport will be renamed after, or it will be named after Lok Neta DB Patel, right? And the new name of this airport will be DB Patel Navi Mumbai International Airport. Take a note of it. Next is name the district that was declared as India's first child marriage free district after achieving zero reported child marriages cases across all the 436 gram panchayats and 9 urban local bodies. So this is Balod district. Balod district is in Chhattisgarh and it has been declared as child marriage free district. Important, students, very important here, right? So it is a child marriage free district of Chhattisgarh. Next is mark the correct statement regarding youth focused initiatives launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in October in New Delhi. So if we look at the option, we have to find the correct statement here. So option B is right, A is wrong and C is wrong. A is saying that PM Modi launched PM Setu, right, with an investment of 50,000 crore rupees. So PM Setu here was launched, right, and it was launched with an investment of not 50,000 but 60,000 crore rupees. Right, PM Setu. Now option A is right. C is saying Bihar's revamped Mukhyamantri Nishchay Swam Sahayata Bhatta Yojana offered around 5 lakh graduates youths a monthly allowance of 2,000 rupees for more than 2 years. Right, so it is not 2,000 rupees but 1,000 monthly allowance will be given for 2 years under the scheme. Now option C is also rightly mentioned. Next is under the Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement between India and the European Free Trade Association that came into force on 1st of October, how many foreign direct investment has EFTA pledged to attract in India over the next 15 years? So under this Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, that is TEPA between India and European Free Trade Association that came into force on 1st of October, it is $100 billion, right, that has been pledged to be invested in India over the next 15 years. Next, where was India's first cooperative multi-feed compressed biogas plant and potash granule production facility inaugurated by Amit Shah, our Home Minister? It was at Ahilyanagar in Maharashtra. Where was it? Ahilyanagar in Maharashtra, and it has a capacity to produce about 12 tons of compressed biogas and 75 tons of potash granules per day. Next, what is the total budget approved by the high level committee chaired by Amit Shah on October for mitigation, recovery and reconstruction projects across 9 states? What is the total budget approved here? It is 4,645 crore rupees. Next is which country along with India commenced the bilateral maritime exercise, that is Konkan 2025, of its western coast from 5th to 12th of October? It is United Kingdom, that is UK, right? And this 2025 edition, it marks the first time India and UK have deployed their full carrier strike groups for a joint maritime exercise, and from India it is INS Vikrant that took part in this exercise. Correct? Take a note of this, students, and this was held in 2 phases, that is your harbor phase and sea phase. Next, BRO, that is your Border Road Organization, has built the world's highest motorable road at Megla Pass at an altitude of 19,400 feet in Ladakh under the project Himang in October 2025. Right, so take a note of this height built by BRO, and this has also been a Guinness World Record. Next, the 71st Wildlife Week observed from 2nd to 8th of October across India. Which of the following projects was not launched during the Wildlife Week 2025 celebration presided over by the Union Minister Bhupendra Yadav in Dehradun, Uttarakhand? So among the following, if we see, Project Snow Leopard was not launched here, right? So this is our answer. Project Dolphin was launched, the phase 2 of it. Project Sloth Bear, Project Ghadial was launched. Then Tigers Outside, that is Project Tiger Outside Tiger Reserve was launched. Correct? Next. Next is, which city has been declared as India's safest city for the fourth time consecutively as per the Crime in India 2023 report released by National Crime Records Bureau under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So it is Kolkata, West Bengal that has been declared as the safest city for the fourth time. If we talk about the unsafe city in India, which is it? It is Kochi. Kochi is in Kerala. Next is state duration of implementation for the 1500 crore rupees critical mineral recycling incentive scheme whose detailed guidelines were issued by the Ministry of Mines. So state the duration here. It is for FY 26 to FY 31. Next, which ministry launched the People's Plan Campaign 25-26, that is Sabki Yojana Sabka Vikas Abhiyan, in October to prepare Panchayat development plans for FY 27. So which ministry has launched this People's Plan Campaign? It is Ministry of Panchayati Raj. The campaign here aims to promote participatory, transparent and accountable local governance by engaging communities through Gram Sabha meetings. Next is, choose the institution where Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has recently approved the establishment of the Namo Semiconductor Laboratory in October to boost indigenous semiconductor facilities. So choose the institution. It is IIT Bhubaneswar of Odisha. Next, where was the 42nd session of the International Civil Aviation Organization Assembly held from September to October? It is Montreal, Canada. Right? Take a note of this. And this was this ICO Council. During the 42nd ICO Assembly, 36-member council elected for a 3-year term. Next, pick out the correct statement regarding the RBI directions issued in September. If we look at the options here, option A is right and C is right, B is wrong. B is saying that these directions shall come into force from 1st of January 2026. No, they will be coming into force from 1st of October 2025 onwards. Next is, in September, Axis Bank in partnership with Dash launched India's first gold-backed credit line on UPI, aiming to simplify working capital access, business growth financing and urgent liquidity needs. So Axis Bank in partnership with Freecharge, right, they have launched India's first gold-backed credit line on UPI. Moving on, RBI, they have announced a new scheme unveiled from which date to which date? It was from 1st of October till 30th of September for facilitating the accelerated payout to ensure faster settlement of inoperative accounts and unclaimed deposits that are lying within the bank account, so that people can get their money back, or the people who are their relatives should get their money back. Correct? Next, in September, SEBI, they have extended the deadline for the complete rollout of Dash to April 1st. So SEBI, they have extended the deadline for the complete rollout of retail algorithm trading to 1st of April 2026. Now, as AI is in the picture, now the retail investors will also be allowed to use algorithms for trading into the retail market or for trading on the equities. Correct? And the platform is jointly managed by two quality registrar and transfer agents. They are CAMS, the famous one, that is Computer Age Management Service Limited, and the second one is KFIN Technologies. Right? Next is, in September, RBI has imposed a penalty of 31.8 lakh rupees on which bank for non-compliance with the direction on priority sector lending targets and classification. So RBI has imposed a penalty of this 31.8 lakh rupees on Indian Overseas Bank. Next, how much loan amount was approved for the development of Indore Metro Rail project in Madhya Pradesh by Asian Development Bank? So what was the amount here? It was $190 million. Next, identify the organization that was granted self-regulatory organization status by RBI in October for the asset and loan financing of NBFC. So identify that organization. It is FIDC, that is your Finance Industry Development Council. Next is, select the organization that collaborated with SEBI to develop the validated UPI handles and SEBI check initiatives launched in October 25 to strengthen the investor payment security. It is NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, right? And they have launched a handle also at the rate of valid. Next, identify the bank that in partnership with Ubuntu Systems Private Limited launched India's first youth-focused digital banking application, that is Cosmos Galgal app, in October 2025. So identify the bank that in partnership with Ubuntu Systems Private Limited have launched this. It is Cosmos Co Private Bank Limited. Right. Next, name the product launched jointly by the PhonePe and Utkarsh Small Finance Bank in October through the PhonePe application, which offers a fixed deposit backed credit card facility starting from 2000 rupees. It is Wish credit card, right? This is the product jointly launched by PhonePe and Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. Next is, what is India's GDP in both FY26 and FY27 as forecasted by Asian Development Bank in their report. ADB growth slows as a new global trade environment takes shape September 2025. This was released in September 2025. So what is India's GDP here? It is 6.5 that is being projected. Next, find out the individual who is not among the top 5 richest Indians as per the M3M Huron India Rich List released in September. If we see here, Shah Rukh Khan is not among the top 5 richest Indians here. Remember, this is the 14th edition of the M3M Huron India Rich List, and it is Mukesh Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Industries Limited, that has secured the top position with 9.55 lakh crore of total net worth, and Gautam Adani and family secured the second position here. Next, identify the person who were announced as the winners of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in October. If we look at the options here, Simon Sagaguchi, Mary E. Birknow, and Fred Ramsdell. These are the 3 individuals, these scientists were awarded with the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Correct? Next is, choose the ministry that implements the National Service Scheme under which My Bharat NSS Award 22-23 were presented by the President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am in October. So choose the ministry that implements this National Service Scheme. It is Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, and a total of 50 recipients here were awarded. Next, who among the following jointly received the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physics for their discovery of macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in electric circuit? So if we'll see here, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned. The laureates here demonstrated that the quantum mechanics governs the macroscopic systems with Josephson junctions underpinning the quantum computers, flash memory, and ultra-precise quantum sensors. Next, identify the new Managing Director and CEO of Union Bank of India and Central Bank of India respectively appointed by ACC. If we look at here, so Ashish Pandey has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Union Bank of India and Kalyan Kumar as the MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. Next, who was appointed as the brand ambassador of Viksit Bharat Buildathon, a nationwide innovation initiative which aimed to engage the students from class 6 to 12th by the Ministry of Education. So, Subhanshu Shukla, right, he was recently appointed as the brand ambassador, and Subhanshu Shukla became the first Indian to reach the International Space Station. Correct? Through which mission? It is Axiom 4 mission, right? It was a mission of NASA where astronauts went to International Space Station, and it was Falcon 9 rocket that took them to space. Next, pick out the incorrect statement regarding the 15th edition of the World Para Archery Championship held in South Korea. If we look at the options here, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the name of the countries going to co-host the inaugural Women's T20 World Cup Cricket for the Blind in November. So if we look at the options here, so it is India and Sri Lanka, right? Not third option, option 5th is right. India and Sri Lanka are going to co-host the inaugural Women's T20 World Cup for cricket for the blind people. Correct? Take a note of this, and this will be for the blind women. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the 12th edition of the World Para Athletics Championship hosted by India in Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, right, from 27th of September to 5th of October. So if we look at the option, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned, and Brazil has topped the medal tally with a total of 44 medals, whereas India finished in 10th position with 22 medals. Next is, who won the 24th edition of F1 Singaporean Grand Prix on 5th of October at the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. So George Russell has secured the top position, and he has won this F1 Singapore Grand Prix. George Russell drives for Mercedes, and he is from which country? He is from UK. Then on second position was of Max Verstappen, and Lando Norris was on the third position. Next is Padma Vibhushan awardee Pandit Channulal Mishra, who passed away in October, was conferred with Padma Bhushan in 2010 and Padma Vibhushan in 2020 for his contribution in the field of art. Correct? Take a note of this, students. Next, the United Nations International Day of Older Persons, observed annually on 1st of October to honor the rights and well-being of older people, was first observed in which year? It was first observed in 1991. Take a note of this. Next, the National Wildlife Week is observed every year in India from 2nd to 8th of October to promote awareness about the protection of wildlife and biodiversity. What was the theme of the 71st National Wildlife Week celebrated in 2025? So, it is Seva Parv, right? So, it is Seva Parv. Next, World Space Week. It is annual United Nations observance held globally to celebrate achievements in space sciences and technology. During which dates was the World Space Week celebrated under the theme Living in Space? It was from 4th to 10th of October we observe World Space Week, right? And living in space is the theme here. Living in space is the theme here. Next, identify the regulatory organization with which the PFRDA has signed a memorandum of understanding during the celebration of NPS Divas on 1st of October to enhance pension outreach in agriculture and rural sector. So identify that regulatory organization. It is NABARD, right? So NABARD and PFRDA, they signed this MOU during the NPS Divas that was on 1st of October. So this question can be asked that NPS Divas is observed when? It is on 1st of October. Next, when was the World Habitat Day observed globally by United Nations to highlight the state of human settlement and emphasize the right to adequate shelter for all? So when was World Habitat Day observed? It is 6th of October we observe World Habitat Day. First time this was observed in 1986. Next is who won the men's 100-meter title at the National Open Athletics Championship held at the Birsa Munda Stadium in Ranchi, clocking India's second fastest time of 10.19 seconds. So who won the men's 100-meter title here? It was won by Manikanta Holdiar or Hoblidar, right? Has clocked 10.19 seconds, India's second fastest time to win the men's 100-meter title. Next is, students, where is India's first Dugong Conservation Reserve located, which was formally recognized by IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature, during the World Conservation Congress 2025 held in September 25. So it is located at Park Bay in Tamil Nadu. Next, choose the correct theme of the International Coffee Day celebrated globally on 1st of October to highlight the fair trade, sustainability and the importance of coffee growers. So, choose the correct theme here. The theme being embracing collaboration more than ever is the theme here. Next, where did India's only mud volcano erupt after a gap of 20 years in October? So, where did it erupt? It was erupted at the Baratang Island of Andaman and Nicobar Island, and it erupted after 20 years. Next, who was appointed by UN Secretary General in October as the Special Representative for Children and Armed Conflict? So, Vanessa Fraser was appointed by UN Secretary General in October as the Special Secretary for Children and Armed Conflict. Next, who became the first person in the world to achieve a net worth of $500 billion as of October 25 according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index? So, Elon Musk, right, he became the first individual to reach this staggering net worth of $500 billion. Next, in which Indian state the traditional festival Mera Hau Chongbu celebrated as a symbol of unity between hill and valley communities observed in October? So, this was observed where? In Manipur. Next, until which month and year has the Government of India in October 25 extended the validity of road tax scheme, that is remission of duties and taxes on exported products scheme? So it has been expired till March 2026. Next, Which organization collaborated with Atal Innovation Mission in October to scale up Atal Tinkering Labs across India? So, which organization collaborated with this Atal Innovation Mission? It is Indo-French Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that is IFCCI. Identify the Indian state that has the largest outstanding credit portfolio for the small businesses at 6 lakh crore rupees as per the joint report Small Business and Spotlight released by SIDBI and Credit Bureau CRIF High Mark in September 2025. So identify that Indian state that has the largest outstanding credit portfolio for the small businesses at 6 lakh crore rupees. So which is that state? It is Maharashtra state. Right? Take a note of it. And UP has registered the highest outstanding portfolio growth of 20.7% on year-on-year basis for the portfolios. Next, according to the National Statistics Office monthly bulletin of the periodic labor force survey for August released in September, what was the national unemployment rate for the individuals aged 15 years and above in August? So the unemployment rate here was 5.1%. Next, what is the rank of India in the 18th edition of the Global Innovation Index, that is Innovation at a Crossroads, released by World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO, so released by WIPO. This is the 18th edition of the Global Innovation Index. What is the rank of India in this Global Innovation Index? India stands at 38th position, and it is Switzerland that secured the first position in this Global Innovation Index. Next, by which year can artificial intelligence increase global trade by nearly 40% according to the World Trade Report titled Making Trade and AI Work Together to the Benefit of All. This is released by World Trade Organization in September 2025. So by which year AI can increase the global trade by nearly 40%? So it is by 2040. Next, which of the following is not among the top 5 Indian states with the highest number of millionaire households in 2025 according to the Mercedes-Benz Huron India Wealth Report and Luxury Consumer Survey 2025 released by Huron India in September? So which of the following is not among the top 5 Indian states? It is West Bengal, that is not among the top 5 here. If we look at the top 5, it is Maharashtra, then Delhi, then Tamil Nadu, then it is Karnataka and Gujarat on the 5th position. Right? Next, mark the correct statement regarding the report, that is State Finances 22-23, a decadal analysis released by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. If we look at the option here, we have to find the correct statement. So option B is rightly mentioned here. It is saying option A, Andhra Pradesh recorded the highest revenue surplus. No, it is UP that recorded the highest revenue surplus, and it is not Uttar Pradesh that recorded the largest revenue deficit. It is Andhra Pradesh that recorded the largest revenue deficit. Now all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the organization which predicted India's GDP growth forecast by 40 basis point to 6.7% for FY26 in their interim report, and this is the report mentioned here. Which is that organization? It is OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Next, in September, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has released the 4th edition of the Children in India 2025. It was during the 29th edition of the Conference of Central and State Statistical Organization in Chandigarh. Question is, identify the correct statement among the following. If we see here, option C is rightly mentioned here. If we look at option A and B, A is saying that India's infant mortality rate decreased from 44 deaths per 1000 live births to in 2011 to just 35 in 2023. So it is not 35 but 25 in 2023. Now option A is right. B is saying India's under 5 mortality rate was estimated at 20 in 2023 compared to 30 in 2022. So it is estimated at 29 in 2023 compared to 30 in 2022. Now option B is also right and C was already right. Next, which organization released the 8th edition of the Environmental Accounts Report titled Environment Accounting on Forest 2025 during the 29th Central Conference and State Statistical Organization held in Chandigarh? So which organization released the 8th edition here? It was released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Right? Next, one more thing here, remember, It is Kerala state where we saw the highest increase of forest cover. Right? Highest increase. Next, so students, these were some your index. Now let's move to the defense related questions. First is mention the place where the 14th exercise of exercise Maitri, that is a joint annual military exercise, was held between Indian Army and Royal Thai Army that took place in September 2025. So among the following, it is Umroi, Meghalaya. This is the location where we saw the 14th edition of the exercise Maitri that took place. Next, in August, which system developed by the High Energy Materials Research Laboratory of DRDO for Kalvari class submarines of Indian Navy was held over to Rear Admiral Rupak Barau to strengthen India's underwater warfare capabilities? So, which system developed by the High Energy Material Research Laboratory? What is the name of that system? It is your Naval Flare System. Important, take a note of it. Next is mention the company that secured defense and technology orders worth 644 crore rupees across areas such as data centers, ship fire control systems, tank navigation systems, communication equipments and electronic voting machines. So mention that company. It is Bharat Electronics Limited. Next, mention the name of the joint military exercise held between the armies of India and USA. The exercise was held where? In Alaska in USA. What is the name of that exercise? It is Yudh Abhyas. Exercise is Yudh Abhyas. And one more thing, this is the 21st edition of this exercise Yudh Abhyas. Next, mention that company that built the 11th ammunition cum torpedo cum missile barge, large sized ammunition missile barge launched by the Indian Navy in Thane, Maharashtra. So mention that company. It is Suryadipta Projects Private Limited. Take a note of it. Next is, what is the estimated revenue of the revenue procurements for 25-26 as per the Defence Procurement Manual approved by the Ministry of Defence in September to improve the procurement process and operational readiness of the armed forces? It is 1 lakh crore rupees, right? This is the estimated revenue of the revenue procurements for FY26. Next, where did the Indian Navy commission their new naval based facility named Indian Naval Ship Aravali in the ceremony held in September? If we look at the options here, it is Gurugram, Haryana, right? This is the location where INS Aravali was commissioned. Next, mention the company that built Androth, that is the second of the 8th anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft received by the Indian Navy in September. Which is that company that developed this Androth? It is Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. And headquarter of this is in Kolkata, West Bengal. Also, Kolkata is termed as the safest city in India. And which is the most unsafe city of India? It is Kochi. Kochi is in Kerala.